La Vanguardia, founded in 1881, has a rich history of innovation in journalism. It introduced its first portrait photograph on the cover in 1929 and later featured the first full-page color image in 1961. Over time, the newspaper established departments dedicated to documentation and photography, which merged in 2020. Today, their team includes photographers like Libert Teixedo and Xavier Cervera, who capture images from strategic locations such as the Carmel bunkers, offering a panoramic view of Barcelona. This site also served as a resistance hub during the Civil War. The team is now focused on combating fake news, particularly AI-manipulated images, by ensuring their work remains authentic and reliable. Here is my take. From capturing kings to documenting history, La Vanguardia's photographers have always been at the forefront of visual storytelling. Today, their mission takes on new urgency, fighting a flood of AI-generated, fake news that threatens to drown genuine journalism. In an era where images can be manipulated with a click, their work is more vital than ever. They are not just chronicling events, they're defending truth in a digital battleground. Kudos to the team for staying vigilant and ensuring their photos remain a beacon of authenticity in our increasingly visual world.
In a recent update, users have been informed that their accounts may be temporarily or permanently blocked for violating commenting rules on certain materials. The duration of the block ranges from 12 hours to 48 hours or could be indefinite. If users disagree with the blocking decision, they are encouraged to submit an appeal through a provided form. This move appears to be part of ongoing efforts to enforce content policies and maintain order on the platform. Here is my take. This announcement raises questions about transparency and accountability in content moderation. While platforms need rules to manage discussions, vague enforcement mechanisms can create uncertainty for users. The lack of clear guidelines leaves room for inconsistency, potentially stifling free expression. It's a reminder that while we expect platforms to regulate harmful speech, they must also ensure fairness, and perhaps a bit more clarity, to protect the rights of all users.
In a recent update, users are being notified of account lockouts due to violations of commenting rules on a major platform. The block duration varies between 12 to 48 hours or may be permanent depending on the severity of the offense. Affected users have the option to appeal the decision by filling out a provided form. This move appears to be part of the platform's ongoing efforts to enforce stricter content policies and maintain a safer community environment. Here is my take. This new enforcement strategy raises important questions about free expression versus regulation. While platforms need guidelines, the lack of transparency in blocking durations feels arbitrary. Users deserve clarity on why their accounts are blocked and how to effectively appeal such decisions. Without clear communication, this could erode trust in the platform's commitment to fair governance. It's a fine balance between moderation and censorship. Let's hope they get it right.
In a recent update, social media platforms have introduced stricter measures against users who violate commenting rules. Affected individuals may face account blocking for durations ranging from 12 hours to 48 hours, or even permanently. The platform has emphasized that these actions are taken to maintain order and ensure respectful discourse. Users who disagree with the blocking can appeal by filling out a specified form provided by the platform. This move aims to address harmful behavior while allowing for resolution in cases of disagreement. Here is my take. This new policy raises interesting questions about freedom of speech and content moderation in digital spaces. While platforms argue that such measures are necessary to prevent toxicity, they also risk stifling diverse voices. The lack of clarity on appeal processes and the arbitrary nature of blocking durations leave users vulnerable to potential misuse of power. It's a fine line between maintaining a civil online environment and overstepping into censorship. Users are left wondering if their accounts could be silenced without due process, and that's something worth paying attention to.
In Moscow, restrictions introduced at Zhukovsky Airport have had little impact on flight operations. According to an airport representative, there have been no diversions to alternative airports, and the facility is functioning as usual. The measures appear to have caused minimal disruption, with the airport maintaining its regular schedule. Here is my take. Zhukovsky Airport's smooth operation despite new restrictions raises interesting questions. Is this a testament to efficient planning, or perhaps an indication that the restrictions were overhyped? Either way, it's a subtle reminder of how airports balance security and functionality. While we don't know the reasons behind these measures, one thing is clear. Passengers aren't feeling the pinch, at least not yet.
Most Germans admit they cannot afford to have children due to the high cost of living in the country, according to a recent survey by the INSA Institute. Conducted between February 19 to 20, 2026, among 1,003 people, the poll revealed that 55% of respondents believe child-rearing is unaffordable. The primary reasons cited include rising rent, food, and electricity costs, 81%, high taxes and social security contributions, 59%, and a lack of available daycare spaces, 58%. Additionally, 48% feel state support for motherhood and childhood is insufficient, while 40% worry about losing significant income after having children. INSA Institute head Hermann Binkert described the situation as dramatic, particularly among those aged 30 to 49, with over 60% believing it's impossible to afford children in Germany today. Here is my take. This survey paints a grim picture of Germany's family-friendly future, or lack thereof. The numbers are staggering. More than half of Germans can't afford to have children due to skyrocketing living costs and burdensome taxes. It's not just economic hardship, it's a broken social contract where hard work doesn't pay off with the support needed for families. The fact that over 60% of people in their prime parenting years feel this way is a red flag for Germany's long-term stability. This isn't just about money, it's about hope. And if Germans can't afford to have children, who will shoulder the future?
Spanish police have detained 2 fans following riots at Osasuna's Sutter Stadium after their 2-1 victory against Real Madrid in La Liga. The chaos began when an Osasuna fan threw a bottle at Real Madrid goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois, sparking clashes between fans and security forces. Police intervened, arresting one man accused of throwing the bottle and another charged with assaulting officers. Several minor injuries were reported among fans and police. Osasuna condemned the incident, launching an internal investigation to understand what went wrong. Here is my take. This disturbing incident reflects poorly on football culture and fan behavior. Throwing a bottle at a goalkeeper is not just reckless, it's disgraceful. While security may have failed to de-escalate the situation, the fact remains, fans' actions after a match should celebrate victory, not escalate violence. The arrests are necessary, but this shouldn't happen in the first place. Clubs must take responsibility for their fan bases and ensure such behavior is stamped out. Stadiums are meant for celebration, not chaos, and until now, Osasuna seems to be trying to clean up its act. Let's hope they succeed.
The U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, transferred over 5,700 Islamic State, IS, members from northeastern Syria to Iraq following the withdrawal of Syrian Democratic Forces, SDF, from Al-Hol camp. The operation, which lasted 23 days and began on January 21, involved transferring IS prisoners who belonged to more than 67 nations. Iraqi officials confirmed that the transfers were conducted securely under the supervision of the Counterterrorism Agency and completed without errors. Saeed al-Jiashi, an advisor at the National Security Advisory Office, stated that the transfer was requested for national security reasons, as the chaotic situation in Syria posed risks to Iraq's security. The Iraqi government is now working on repatriating the prisoners to their respective countries. Here's my take. This move by CENTCOM raises significant questions about the long-term implications for regional stability and international cooperation. Transferring thousands of IS members to Iraq, which is already grappling with its own security challenges, seems like a political band-aid solution rather than a strategic plan. While Iraqi officials claim they have taken all necessary precautions, the reality is that holding prisoners from 67 countries in one facility could create a powder keg of tensions. Furthermore, it's unclear whether other nations will step up to repatriate their citizens, leaving Iraq potentially stuck with hosting these terrorists indefinitely. This operation feels less like a victory over IS and more like a risky political maneuver with unpredictable consequences.
The Algerian parliament is working on finalizing the law criminalizing French colonization, passed by the lower house in December 2025. The upper house has reservations over articles related to France's apology and compensation, leading to the formation of a joint committee to resolve differences. This diplomatic maneuver comes after Algeria and France experienced a thaw in relations following recent tensions. The law aims to criminalize French colonial crimes, including massacres and forced displacement, and demands official recognition and apology from France. While the lower house approved the law, the upper house's conditional approval hinges on rewriting 13 articles, signaling Algeria's strategic shift toward focusing on historical recognition rather than material compensation. Here is my take. This legislative dance in Algiers reveals a calculated political strategy to balance national pride with diplomatic pragmatism. By softening demands for direct compensation and shifting focus to historical recognition, Algeria is effectively lowering the bar for France to engage without compromising its narrative of colonial wrongs. The move not only eases tensions but also sets a precedent for African nations seeking similar redress. While critics may view it as a concession, this approach cleverly marries memory with diplomacy, ensuring Algeria's voice remains heard while keeping doors open for dialogue and cooperation. A smart play to mend fences without losing face.
Tawfik Sabouni, a Syrian director, created his documentary The Other Side of the Sun as both a cinematic project and a personal journey after his release from prison. Initially planning to film in Belgium using recreated sets, Sabouni decided to return to Syria's Sidenaya prison for authenticity amid the regime's downfall. The film, which explores resistance, love, and survival within Syrian prisons, won second place in public voting at the Berlin International Film Festival. Sabouni interviewed 25 former prisoners, focusing on their unique stories rather than just their suffering. His goal was to balance harsh realities with moments of hope, creating a powerful yet nuanced testimony. Here's my take. Tawfik Sabouni's The Other Side of the Sun is not just a film, it's a testament to resilience and resistance in the face of unimaginable darkness. By returning to Cydonia prison, Sabuni reclaimed his dignity and offered a stark reminder that even in the most oppressive systems, human spirit and solidarity endure. His decision to balance pain with hope was masterful, ensuring the story remains unforgettable without being unendurable. This film isn't just about Syria, it's a universal plea for understanding the hidden strength within us all. Sabuni has crafted more than a documentary, he's offered a sharp critique of humanity's capacity for both cruelty and compassion, set against the backdrop of one of history's darkest theaters.
In a press statement, Saudi Minister of Sport and President of the Saudi Olympic and Paralympic Committee, Prince Abdulaziz bin Turki Al Faisal, congratulated King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, and the Saudi people on the occasion of Foundation Day. He praised the country's historical roots and its journey of development under successive rulers, particularly highlighting the kingdom's achievements in sports since 2018. Over 50,000 participants took part in a portion of the Riyadh Marathon, reflecting growing engagement in physical activity. Prince Abdulaziz emphasized the sporting sector's success in meeting Vision 2030 targets, with a 59.1% local participation rate and over 150 international events hosted, attracting millions of visitors. Here is my take. Prince Abdulaziz's remarks underscore Saudi Arabia's ambitious pivot to redefine itself on the global stage, not just as an oil-rich nation but as a modern sporting powerhouse. The kingdom's ability to host over 150 global events and achieve a nearly 60% sports participation rate is a testament to Crown Prince Mohammed's Vision 2030 strategy. This shift not only boosts international diplomacy but also fosters unity at home, bridging generational gaps and cultural divides. Saudi Arabia's leap from its Bedouin roots to becoming a hub for international athleticism is nothing short of remarkable, and it's all happening under the spotlight of Foundation Day.
At the 2026 Spring Festival gathering, General Secretary Xi Jinping emphasized the importance of accumulating small victories to achieve great success, highlighting the need for strategic resolve and persistent effort. He drew on Chinese traditional culture and Marxist principles to underscore that progress is built through gradual, steady steps. This approach reflects both historical lessons and future goals, encouraging patience, hard work, and resilience in overcoming challenges. The message serves as a call to action for leaders and citizens alike, urging them to stay grounded and focused on long-term success. Here's my take. General Secretary Xi's speech strikes a chord with the timeless wisdom of small steps, big results. In an era marked by rapid change and global competition, his emphasis on perseverance and gradual progress is both timely and pragmatic. While the world grapples with uncertainties, from AI revolutions to climate crises, the idea of steady accumulation offers a much-needed antidote to instant gratification. It reminds us that greatness is not achieved overnight but through relentless, methodical effort. This philosophy isn't just a nod to China's past, it's a blueprint for navigating an unpredictable future, one step at a time.
In Zhangjiakou, Hebei, China, the small mountain town is transforming its Winter Olympic legacy into a high-quality development boom. After hosting events during the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics, Zhangjiakou has seen visitor numbers surge from 2 million annually in 2015 to over 10 million by 2025. Focusing on sustainable growth, the city leverages its Olympic venues for year-round events, integrates diverse industries like sports, tourism, and education, and emphasizes infrastructure improvements. With investments in both things, ski resorts, transportation, and people, visitor experiences, local talent development, Zhangjiakou has become a model for post-Olympic legacy transformation, blending economic growth with cultural preservation. Here is my take. Zhangjiakou's story is a masterclass in post-Olympic reinvention. By focusing on sustainability, diversification, and people-centric development, the city has not only revitalized its economy but also set a global benchmark for leveraging major events for long-term gain. The integration of culture, sports, and tourism is genius, turning a fleeting spectacle into a lasting economic engine. While other post-Olympic cities struggle with underused venues, Zhangjiakou's Ice and Snow Plus strategy proves that with foresight and investment, the legacy of major events can truly shine beyond the medals.
On February 22, during the 6th day of the Chinese New Year, the country experienced a peak in outbound and inbound passenger flows. Major highways reported rising traffic volumes, with only isolated sections facing heavy congestion. The Ministry of Public Security's Traffic Administration issued reminders for drivers ahead of the final day of the Spring Festival holiday on February 23. Authorities advised paying attention to weather forecasts, planning routes carefully, maintaining safe driving practices, and avoiding drunk driving or fatigue driving. Drivers were also urged to handle accidents promptly and avoid cutting lanes during congestion. Here is my take. As millions of travelers navigate China's roads this week, it's a timely reminder that even in the happiest of occasions, the laws of physics and traffic still apply. While the holiday spirit is undeniably in the air, so too is the chaos of human movement on a grand scale. It's fascinating how our desire to connect with loved ones can create such logistical mayhem. Yet, amidst the gridlock, there's a lesson. Even during moments of joy and reunion, a little patience, discipline, and foresight go a long way. Here's hoping this year's Spring Festival brings not just happiness but also safer, smoother journeys for all.
In February 2026, students staged a live news drama called Put Down Your Whip in Yongqing County amidst a national crisis, as Japan occupied parts of China. Organized by the Communist Party, these progressive youth from Tianjin and Beijing traveled through Hebei province to spread anti-Japanese ideas. Faced with repression, they split into small groups to evade nationalist blockades, enduring harsh conditions during their 3-week journey. Their efforts ignited anti-Japanese sentiment among locals and led to the formation of the Chinese National Liberation Vanguard Team, which played a significant role in unifying youth against Japanese aggression before being disbanded in 1941. Here is my take. The students' daring performance and relentless journey through rural Hebei during the late 1930s was not just a propaganda mission, it was a clarion call to action. These young idealists, facing brutal repression yet undeterred, transformed their hardships into fuel for revolution. Their ability to inspire farmers, workers, and students alike speaks volumes about the power of unity and sacrifice in times of crisis. Though history often glosses over such tales, their legacy endures as a testament to the courage of those who dared to fight for freedom when it mattered most.
El presidente estadounidense Donald Trump ha intensificado la incertidumbre global después de que el Tribunal Supremo anulara los aranceles recíprocos impuestos en abril de 2025. En respuesta, Trump elevó los aranceles del 10% al 15%. La decisión del tribunal consideró que Trump excedió su autoridad al utilizar una ley de emergencia de 1977 para imponer los aranceles sin el visto bueno del Congreso. Esta acción ha generado confusión en empresarios y diplomáticos internacionales, especialmente en Europa y Asia, donde se analizan sus implicaciones legales y económicas. Trump ha emitido proclamations presidenciales para mitigar el impacto de la decisión, pero el Congreso tendrá que ratificar estas medidas en 5 meses, lo que podría ser complicado dadas las tensiones políticas actuales. Here's my take. La escalada de Trump después del fallo del Tribunal Supremo revela una vez más su enfoque myope y desafiante hacia la política comercial. En lugar de abordar el problema de manera constructiva, Trump ha optado por elevar las tensiones, lo que solo agravará la incertidumbre global. Su actitud de menospreciar al tribunal como perros falderos de la izquierda radical no solo erosiona la separación de poderes, sino que también socava la credibilidad de Estados Unidos en el escenario internacional. Con un déficit público en aumento y una economía vulnerable a las fluctuaciones comerciales, Trump parece estar llegando con fuego.
Propane consumption in Spain has surged by over 2% last year, driven by the housing crisis and rising energy costs. Many landlords now favor propane for seasonal rentals due to its affordability, with tenants paying €62 annually for hot water and heating. Propane's popularity also stems from its flexibility. Users pay only for what they consume, unlike traditional systems requiring fixed monthly fees. The hospitality industry has also embraced propane for its cost-effectiveness and high calorific power. Despite its association with rural areas, propane is experiencing a comeback, with Repsol leading the market as Spain's top distributor. Here is my take. Propane's rise in Spain isn't just about energy savings, it's a symptom of deeper economic struggles. With housing prices spiraling and landlords prioritizing short-term gains over long-term investments, propane fills a gap but leaves many questioning why basic utilities aren't more accessible. It's a sharp reminder that when traditional systems fail to meet demands, alternative solutions, like propane, are left to pick up the slack. While it's practical for now, let's not forget that relying on 12.5 kilogram tanks isn't progress, it's a sign of systemic issues needing urgent attention.
En San Francisco, los coches autónomos, especialmente los de Waymo, de Google, y Zoox, de Amazon, están revolucionando la movilidad. Estos robotaxis operan sin conductores en ciudades como San Francisco, Los Angeles, Phoenix, Austin y Miami, con planes de expansionar a 20 urbs internacionales para fines de año. Aunque su tecnología, basada en inteligencia artificial y sensores avanzados, permite seguridad y eficiencia, su adopción no está exenta de desafíos. Recientes accidentes, como el atropello de un menor en Los Angeles, han generado críticas y debates sobre su seguridad. Mientras tanto, la presencia de estos vehículos en las calles de San Francisco contrasta con la miseria y el abandono que padecen los barrios más vulnerables, como Tenderloin. Here's my take. San Francisco es un microcosmo de las tensiones modernas. Por un lado, una tecnología revolucionaria que permite transformar la movilidad. Por otro, una sociedad que aún no ha logrado resolver problemas básicos como la vivienda y la desigualdad. Mientras los coches autónomos avanzan con determinación, las personas sin hogar siguen siendo invisibilizadas en las aceras. Es triste ver como una ciudad que moldeó el futuro tecnológico no parece entender que el progreso debe ser humano. Los robotaxis son un avance increíble, pero sin una sociedad más justa y equilibrada, seguiremos chocando contra las paredes de nuestra propia innovación.